Hello, I'm Vegas Vic, and welcome to a different spot in my kitchen. And today I am here because I have a warning for slot players following the opening of the casinos after the coronavirus pandemic, the reopening of casinos. Many states have already reopened their casinos, and here in Las Vegas and in the state of Nevada, according to the latest information, casinos will open on June 4th, 2020. This is only a few days from now. And so if you're planning a trip, you have probably already booked your hotel rooms because reservations are being available. And if you're local to the state of Nevada or a local to the casinos in your state, this is a piece of information that I think you should be aware of. And that has to do with the warning for slot players. Why? Well, casinos have now been shut down for a very long time, and that means that the casino companies that run these casinos have been losing millions of dollars in revenue for a very long time, and they have a responsibility to their shareholders as well as their employees and themselves, but mostly to the corporations that own them. And so, what's going to happen? Well, when they reopen, they can only reopen at best at a 25% capacity. In some states, perhaps 50%, which means that every other slot machine will be shut off with the seat taken away, or perhaps two slot machines for every one will be shut off. At blackjack tables, there will only be three people instead of six or seven. Poker rooms are still closed altogether. Dice tables will be limited to, I think, 4 or 5 players, maybe 6 at the most, and so forth for all the other games. And so what does it mean for the revenue for the casino? Well, after several weeks of being shut down and losing millions of dollars, they will need to find a way of being able to recoup that revenue as quickly as possible. And the easiest way to do that is to open those slots that pay the least. Or, which is also possible, change the payback percentages on those slot machines. Now, how can they do that? Well, it's very easy. Some of those machines are what's called server-based, which means that the machine that you see on the casino floor is not actually there. It's in a server somewhere in a room, and to change the payback percentages, all they have to do is click a button. You know, it's like highlighting a menu and say, okay, well, this machine used to pay back, 92%, so let's make it 88%, and so forth. Now, there are other machines, standalone machines, where they actually have to change the EPROM chips inside the machine. And that's not as easy to do, but it's still possible. Now, I'm not saying that many casinos will do this, but some probably will. And some slot machines that already pay the least will probably be the ones that will be the first open. This has all to do with the almighty dollar. And the casinos want to pay for their overhead, and you want to pay for the entertainment. And the twain shall meet at a point where you will be paying a lot more for that entertainment, at least in the near future. Now, there are many casinos that already have machines that pay very little. For example, most of the very popular one-penny slot machines, which really aren't 1 penny because you have to pay at least a minimum of 40 cents on most of them and so forth, those already pay back at about 88%, some at 86%, which means that they hold 12% or 16% for the house. In Las Vegas, there's a major casino corporation that for several years now has had all of its slot machines set to the state minimum, which is 75% payback, which means that their slots hold 25% for the house. And so it's kind of like the wild, wild west at the moment among slot machines, because many of the casinos, have to just make the money as fast as possible, especially the ones that are on tourist destinations like those on the Las Vegas Strip or downtown, because according to the latest forecast, it's going to take anywhere from 18 months to 3 years for those casinos to recover from the losses that they have incurred because of this shutdown. Now, locals casinos are a little bit better off because they generally already have better paybacks. And so if you're near a tribal casino, perhaps that one will not be as affected because they will have, the better pays anyway. And in Las Vegas, of course, the locals casinos, as well as in Reno and other regional centers throughout Nevada, there are many, many slots which already pay better than their counterparts amongst the tourist casinos like on the Strip and downtown, for example. And so the warning that I have to give you is to learn something and find out a little bit more before you rush back into the casino and start spending money in whatever is available. Because what is available will probably be paying a little bit less than it did before. Now, on games like video poker, it's easy. You can look at the pay table and know exactly what the percentages of the payback on that game is. In Keno, you can do the same thing. You can look at video Keno machines in the pay table and know exactly what the percentages of that payback is, or at least very close to it. And the way to find out is I've written a book on video poker and a book on video Keno and Keno itself. And I've written many other books, so all the information is already there. And just, by the way, if I'm accused of trying to sell my books, yes, of course I'm trying to sell my books. But if you don't like my books, there are many hundreds of other well-respected authors who provide information that is also valuable. So please give yourself a chance and look it up. And so this will continue for a little while longer, I think, and until such time as the restrictions are lifted and more of the people come to play and the casinos open to a near full capacity. This will probably continue for a little while. So about slot machines, it's not as easy to pick which slot machines are the best ones or the ones that are least likely to be tweaked to pay back a little bit less and hold a little bit more for the house. But amongst those that are least likely to be tweaked are the major area progressives like Wheel of Fortune and Megabucks and all those machines, because they are governed by different rules and regulations. And as far as other slot machines that are very popular, they will probably remain the same. But the best way for you to do is to do some research. For example, in most jurisdictions, the actual average payback percentages for the slot machines in your local casinos or in your state's casinos are available from the State Gaming Control Board. So all you have to do is call them up and ask. And of course, then your other choice is to look at some of the recommendations by gaming authors such as myself. I've written many books on slots, including Great Casino Slots, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are amongst the better machines. And of course, there are many other authors who will also be able to recommend to you some of the machines which are more likely to remain at their optimum payback percentages, or at least that they were before this pandemic shutdown. So for now, it's kind of like, in casino parlance, a crapshoot. Of course, this is not a dice game. These are slots. But you do need to do a little bit of more research before you head over to the casino and start sticking your money in the bill acceptors. And so I just wanted to let you know that this is a possibility. I'm not saying that it is going to be a fact in every casino, but it's very likely to be the case in many casinos, or at least those who have a very large debt load and need to start making their money really quickly. And so that's about it. As I say, always, this is my opinion, my 2 cents worth, and you need to check it out for yourselves, of course. But I've been here a long time, and I've seen ups and downs many, many times, and this is usually the outcome of any kind of a tragedy, at least in the short term. So soon the casinos will be back open, and I'll be heading over to my favorite casinos here in Las Vegas, and I'll invite you, of course, to all come back to Las Vegas or to your favorite casino. And as always, when I say at the end of my videos, I say I'll see you in the casino. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. So long.